The Nazi Party lacked support amongst the middle classes and wealthy industrialists. But by 1932, this situation was changing. Gustav Krupp donated millions of marks to the party, and their support increased further. In 1932, Franz von Papen was appointed as chancellor. He immediately scheduled elections, which spiraled into street fighting between the Nazis and the communists. No party gained a majority. Further elections called in that year saw the Nazis become the largest party in the Reichstag, but without an overall majority. A coalition of right-wing parties invited Hitler to become Reich Chancellor, believing they could control him. They were clearly wrong. On the 30th of January 1933, Hitler became Chancellor. He appeared on the balcony of the Reich Chancellery with President von Hindenburg behind him. The former Austrian beggar was now in control of his beloved Germany. Hitler immediately set about consolidating his power. On February the 27th, the Reichstag went up in flames. Hitler blamed this on the communists and used it as an excuse to suspend all civil liberties. The Enabling Act was passed, giving him dictatorial powers. Political opponents and dissenters were arrested and sent to newly built concentration camps at Oranienburg and Dachau. Persistent opponents were simply shot. Literature that the Nazis considered seditious was burned in the streets. Hitler's propaganda minister, Dr. Joseph Goebbels, presided over one of these occasions. However, Hitler's grip on power was not yet safe. The party meeting in 1933 was called the Congress of Victory and was another spectacular event. Hitler once again used his powerful oratory to inspire the crowd.
Wollen wir ringen und wollen wir kämpfen und niemals erlahmen und niemals ermüden und niemals verzagen und niemals verzweifeln.
In 1934, the SA was now almost 4 million strong, and Rome and its leaders posed a real threat to Hitler. His response was swift and brutal. On the 30th of June, the SS and Gestapo rounded up the SA's leaders in what was known as the Night of the Long Knives. Old scores were settled, and Rome himself was shot the next day. With the threat of the SA neutralized, Hitler's grip on power was complete. 2 days later, the SS, commanded by Heinrich Himmler, was granted the status of independent organization. This freed them to set about the tasks of eliminating all opposition to the Nazis. The road to power was complete. The road to war was just beginning. Propaganda was a powerful weapon for the Nazis. Triumph of the Will was a film of the party rally in 1934. This showed a strong and positive image of the Nazis to the world, and Hitler was portrayed as a Wagnerian hero. The film won many awards internationally and would be the most powerful piece of propaganda of the Nazi era.
Mein Führer, ich melde.
This, however, masked the true intent of the Nazis, the persecution of the Jews. Laws were passed depriving them of all their civil rights. The party coordinated attacks on Jewish businesses and synagogues. These attacks would culminate with the infamous Kristallnacht. Soon, even greater crimes would be committed against them. In August 1934, President von Hindenburg died. Hitler now proclaimed himself Führer of the German Reich. Soldiers would now swear allegiance to him instead of Germany. His expansionist ambitions would require a powerful military machine, something that the Treaty of Versailles did not allow the Germans. He ordered the creation of a Luftwaffe and the rapid expansion of the army. In reality, both these things had been happening in secret since the 1920s. In 1936, Hitler publicly repudiated the Treaty of Versailles. The French and British protested strongly, but did nothing. Conscription was reintroduced, and the production of arms by companies like Krupp was stepped up. However, Hitler desperately needed the industrial areas of the Saar and the Rhineland. These were the very heart of German industrial production, but the Treaty of Versailles had made them into demilitarized zones. He regained the Saar by a simple plebiscite in 1935. In March 1936, Hitler once again gambled on the inaction of the League of Nations and sent troops into the Rhineland. Once again, his gamble paid off. Once the Rhineland was regained, rearmament increased at a staggering pace. Diplomatically, the Germans still tried to convince the world of their desire for peace. Joachim von Ribbentrop, the German ambassador to London, was crucial to this smokescreen.
Of Germany, that is, the entire German nation. A nation which, once and for all, has restored its sovereignty and which will never allow this sovereignty to be discussed again, but also a nation which wants nothing but freedom, equality, and peace. Germany is convinced that also the British people, as well as the French people, want this new peace in Europe, based on a spirit of conciliation among equal sovereign powers.
But as the Germans spoke peace, preparations for war continued.